We're all still devastated by the loss of Matthew Perry, but many wonder, how should he be remembered? Well, let's hear from the man himself.
Hey up everyone, it's me, Steph the Alter Nerd, your nerdy alternative, joined as ever by our leader, Andy Signor. And this is actually quite heartbreaking and chilling in a way now that he has passed away, but actually being able to hear from himself how he would like to be remembered. And he said all this pretty much a year ago. And he said, look, when I want to pass away, I don't want friends to be the first thing that's mentioned. And so what did he want the first thing to be mentioned? Well, he was speaking on the Q with Tom Power podcast in 2022 to promote his memoir, Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing. And he was asked about the legacy.
Let's play the clip.
He wanted to leave behind.
I want to hear him say it, Steph, because it's here. And he was promoting this book. We can read it, but it's more effective hearing him say it. He was promoting this book heavily, and that was why these questions were asked, because he admitted several times in this book that he nearly died. And so as fans were asking these questions, we get to hear from the man himself.
Here we go.
I think you have to have all your dreams come true to realize they're the wrong dreams. What are the?
I probably stole from Jim Carrey, I guess.
What are the dreams now?
The dreams now. The best thing about me, bar none, is if somebody comes up to me and says, "I can't stop drinking. Can you help me?" I can say yes and follow up and do it. That's the best thing. And I've said this for a long time. When I die, I don't want friends to be the first thing that's mentioned. I want that to be the first thing that's mentioned. And I'm going to live the rest of my life proving that.
Do you want to do some...
It's sad. You can pause it there. There's one more clip where a fan asked specifically what he wants his legacy to be. He pretty much answered there. And just a little explain it. The Jim Carrey quote he's talking about, he mentioned earlier that Jim Carrey has a quote where he says, "I hope everybody in the world gets to achieve their dreams so they can learn that that will not make them happy." Paraphrasing, but he sort of acknowledges that what a lot of these people realize, just because you're rich, famous, the biggest star in the world, it doesn't solve your problems. You still can have mental, issues, health issues, depression, etc. It can make it all worse for a lot of times. And so it's sad hearing that quote. It's encouraging because I think we all need to be focusing on that. A lot of people are celebrating Friends, as he even expected they would, and as we should. It's a really good role. It brought so much joy and happiness to so many people. It's the comfort show, right, Steph, for so many people who are struggling, and Matthew as Chandler and everybody in that cast were able to help a lot of people through troubling times in that comedy. But what's sad, I'm glad to hear he wants that, and I'm glad it's allowing us to remind people to go get the book and learn about what he was doing. But it's just sad that he got so straightened out. He got himself healthier. He got himself sober. And the next portion of his life, I imagine, was going to help others. And it's sad that we lost him before he got to do that. I hope his words, his legacy, and his book are what we can all point to now help spread the word of Matthew Perry, so people can use all of this and all he shared. And thank God he got the book out in his one-person play that he did about struggling with all of this. I hope that's what we can all now focus on to really spread out there in honor of Matthew Perry, so others can know about this disease of alcoholism and addiction. But there's one more clip, Steph, before we continue and talk a bit. One more clip where a fan specifically asks, how do you want to be remembered?
Yep, so let's play this clip now.
Tiffany asks, how would you like to be remembered?
I would like to be remembered as somebody who lived well, loved well, was a seeker, and his paramount thing is that he wants to help people. That's what I want.
So there it is, a seeker. He feels like he's saying it too much, but you can tell it's really what it's about. And that happens a lot in recovery when you're going through this and someone helps you and you get through that other side. You just want to help others. I remember when in my own situation, not to compare, but it's like you go through that rock bottom point, right? And anybody who's been there knows, and people help you see the better way through. you immediately then want to start trying to help other people through those situations. And it's encouraging to see that Matthew was doing that, and he was doing that through a lot of his helping others through recovery, through his plays, through the book, through really bearing his soul and the honest details about how low it got. He was very lucky to be to make it as long as he did. And those extra years clearly were instrumental in then at least allowing him to leave that legacy. So if we can think of anything bittersweet or at least positive, right, he was able to at least get that out, and the book and these statements, so we know how to remember him, and not just the struggle, but the man who was able to fight past the struggle, and that's massive. But yeah, Steph, you have some more queued up here. Obviously, the friends and community is still massive and has been doing a lot to help. In addition, go ahead. What do you have here queued?
Yeah, so this wasn't just like a one-time thing that Matthew would say. He has said this time and time again, how he would want to be remembered. And he did a cover story with People back of October 2022, so this time last year. And he shared about the things for which he gives himself credit, which included caring about others, for never giving up, and helping people as much as I do, adding, that's probably my favourite thing about myself, being creative, seeing, learning that if you're uncomfortable or feeling anxiety, one of the ways to get out of that situation is to be creative. So he's always maintained that narrative that, you know, he just wants to help people now through his own experiences, to use that to help other people in similar dire situations. And yeah, Andy, the Friends community is definitely coming around in a very, very big way. And yeah, they're going to New York City, to the apartment where, you know, it was kind of filmed at, if that makes sense. And
The
you know,
exterior shot, yeah.
the exterior shot, yeah. And you know, they're leaving flowers, they're leaving tributes there. And it's just it's nice to see that the Friends community is coming together in this way. Heartful handwritten notes, even gum packs in reference to one of Chandler's iconic lines, saying, you know, on second thought, gum would be perfection.
I just watched that episode again last night. It's a good one. It's so cringe, but he's so good. I started watching over the weekend, to be honest. I even tweeted out like, what's everyone's favorite episodes, so they can help remind me to go look, because I'm a Friends fan, but I wasn't like as religious as others. But I've revisited some of those suggestions, and they're so good. He's so good in that show.
Absolutely. But guys, thank you so much for tuning into this video. On your way out, if you haven't done so already, do make sure you subscribe to Popcorn Planet, because we'll be providing you the updates in regards to this situation. Comment down
But
below.
more importantly, to wrap it up, I want to hear more thoughts and tributes of not just Chandler, but everything else that you remember, Matthew Perry. You guys were sharing such good ideas. I think it's okay we remember Friends. I think he knows that's an instrumental part. And I think because of his success on Friends, this other legacy will be able to continue. But I think as we remember Friends and thank him for that, also pick up the book and learn more about the man behind the character, and how important the helping of others was for him and how much he did that for. So if you have issues or similar stories to share, I want to read them down below. We'll interact with you guys. Thank you guys so much for sharing them. And thank you, Steph, for all that you've been doing for me. My gratitude to you as I've been going through this. I hope to be back in studio maybe tomorrow, guys. Stay tuned. Fingers crossed. You guys are awesome. But yes, more videos will be popping up. Make sure to clickety click. Appreciate all you guys watching.
Thank you very much, guys.